abstract. And our project title is Reliable Warning List and Optimized Threshold Measures to Recover and Revoke Cluster Nodes. In our abstract, it explains the overall process and procedure of our project. Here we are going to see about our basic things of project. Our basic things are Monet. Monet is a mobile network network, and it is a self-organized and a dynamic topology network. Here the problem is many nodes enter and leave into the network periodically. So that here is problem is security issues. Here securities are provided by each and every node. Get the certification. After get the certification, it enter into the network. Here the problem is every node get a certificate, but some of the nodes misbehave into the network. So that in our project abstract explain how to identify the intruder nodes, and those nodes how to separate and how to those nodes certificates are revoked. In our project, another problem is some of the misbehaving nodes falsely accuse the true nodes. So it's avoided by we introduce the cluster concept. Cluster have the many nodes, and it's also have the cluster head. The cluster head using the recovery packet to regain the falsely accused node. And in our project, another problem is warning list capacity. The warning list is one of the list. It contains the several nodes, and it's also combined to contain the some legitimate nodes, some malicious nodes. And our problem is how to identify the legitimate nodes and how to recover the legitimate nodes from the warning list. Here we using the optimized threshold measures to recover the legitimate nodes in the warning list. Now we are going to discuss about the data flow diagram of in our project. First of all, we form the cluster, and then we find out the hacker in our cluster, and then if we find out the hacker, we send the accusation packet to the certificate authority. The certificate authority validate the sender node, and then it will revoke the hacker node. And sometimes falsely some of the nodes are accused. It handled by cluster head. The cluster head using the recovery packet, and it sent to the certificate authority. The certificate authority validate the cluster head to recover the falsely accused node. And then we discuss the warning list processing. In the warning list processing contains the some of the legitimate nodes and then malicious node. Here we using the optimized threshold values to recover the legitimate nodes in the warning list. Now we are going to see the execution procedure of in our project. First of all, we run the install frame, and then here in our project title, and then we enter the button, and here the next frame is see. Here user give the input for the number of cluster nodes. Here user give the 20 for input, and then here 20 cluster is created, and then violet color node is a cluster head, and here user choose the source and destination nodes. Here source node is 15 and destination node is 9. After click the OK button, you see the blue color is a source node, and then yellow color is a destination node, and then user give the message this message is split into number of packets and sent to the source to destination. Overall packet is 19. It's sent, and then it received by a destination. There is a 5 packet is missed, so that there is some misbehaving is happened. So that we identify the hacker. Here 6th node is hacker. In this frame, here the accusation packet is created. First of all, the receiver node get the detail of hacker node. Here we know that N6 is do the some misbehaving on the send and receive operation. First of all, the receiver node validate that hacker node it is in the blacklist. It find out the hacker node is not in the receiver node blacklist, so that it form the accusation packet, and it click the multiple accusation. It's used for future, and then it's sent to the certificate authority. The certificate authority have the many things. First of all, it's have the all the nodes details, and it's also have the some warning list, and it's also have the blacklist. Here service authority warning list, it's have the 6th node. In the sense, many nodes send the accusation to the service authority. It's resemble in this way. And then here the service authority validate the sender. Here the sender node is 9th and the 9th node is valid node. So that it validates the sender node and then it revoke the hacker node and update. Here certificate authority blacklist update the N6 and then we go for next. In this next session, the certificate authority form the blacklist packet. It's a packet name, certificate authority ID and information, and it's a number of nodes in the warning list and then blacklist. It's sent to the cluster nodes. In our project we saw the any one node update its blacklist. Here is a node update its blacklist. Here hacker node is updated into the receiver node. Then we go for next. It is the second module of our project. Here the user choose the accuser node and accusation to the node. Here 15 is the accuser and then 6 is the accused node, and its user for feature is and it revoke and CA discrimination. It means that a 6th node is revoked and update to the each and every node. Here we see the cluster head updation. Here 6th node and also blacklist also have the 6th node. Then click next. Here cluster head have the overall nodes information. Here it's have the kinds. It means a legitimate, it's a true node, malicious it's a hacker node. So that it validate the accused node. The accused node is valid node means it form the recovery packet. The packet name is recovery, cluster head ID and then recover node ID and then certificate authority ID and the information is release. Here cluster head have the warning list and a block list. Here 6 is the hacker node, accused node, and then it remove that node. Then click the next. Here it is a warning list processing. Here predefined threshold message is 4 to 5. It is a warning list of certificate authority. It have the many number of nodes, accused and accuser nodes. Here we find out the overall accused nodes. There is a N3, N5, N8. It is a accuser nodes, and we find out the counter value. Counter values means how many nodes give the accusation to the accused nodes. So that in our project predefined threshold is 4 to 5. So that which of which of the nodes are more than 4 to 5 counter values, that nodes are assumed as a legitimate nodes, and then those nodes are removed. And which of the nodes have the less than threshold value, that nodes are, we assume that it is a hacker node. So that N8 node have only one accusation, so that we assume that it is a hacker node. Then we go for next. In this frame we perform the optimized threshold message. The optimized threshold message is find by the neighbor nodes of the each of the nodes. Here we click the nodes button. Here many nodes, and then every nodes have the some neighbor nodes. So that here user use the accusation for some node. It is a 8th node, and then those are here the one accusation for that node. We get the details of that node, and then which of the node give the accusation. Then user again click accusation, then user give again another one node. Here user give the accusation. It says 6, and get the details of 10th node, and the user give the which of the nodes are accusing. give the accusation, and then go for next frame. In this frame is the threshold value is calculated. Here warning list. Here 8th node is have the only one accusation, and 10th node is have the many accusation. Here we going to recover the node. Here we first recover the 8th node, so that we give in 8th, and then we find out the neighbor nodes. It have the 10 neighbor nodes. We derive the threshold value. Here threshold value is 5. That means 8th node have above of 5 accusation, means it's released from the warning list. We calculate the counter value. Its counter value is 1. Then validate minimizing false release probability. Nodes are not released, malicious node, so that we easy to identify the N3 is falsely accused to the N8th node. So that click OK button. Then we using N10th node recover. Here give the neighbor, calculate the neighbor nodes for 10th node. Its neighbor node is 6. Its threshold message is 3, and its counter value is 6. So that here we validate. Here maximizing correct release probability legitimate nodes, because 10th node is accused node, so that many nodes give the accusation to that node, so that 10th node is malicious node. Okay, thank you.